Have you ever cried out to God so hard that it didn't even sound like words? You were just pouring out your soul, crying and weeping to God, hoping that the God of the universe hears you? Well, today I want to take you through a story in 1 Samuel chapter 1 with a woman named Hannah. And this woman is married to a man named Elkanah. He has two wives, Hannah and Peninnah. Now, him with Peninnah, they have children, but Hannah does not. She is barren. It says in verse 6 in 1 Samuel chapter 1 that the Lord has closed her womb. Now, they would go up to yearly feasts and they would all sit together at one table. And during this time, Peninnah would provoke Hannah because she was unable to have kids. Hannah carried this shame and this guilt, as it was looked upon as a curse from God during this time. She would carry this, and at some point, she said, "Enough is enough." Verse 10, she greatly distressed, prayed to the Lord, and wept bitterly. She said, I'm done with this. I'm going to bring this to God, and she's weeping as she's crying out to God with what she's feeling. She's saying in verse 11, God, remember me. Take action. Is what that means. Give me a son and I will give him back to you. Now she continues praying, and there's a priest, and this priest's name is Eli. And Eli sees Hannah praying, and he says to her, "Have you had too much to drink? Are you drunk?" And Hannah goes, "No, I am oppressed in the spirit, for I am pouring out my soul before the Lord." So just think about that for a second. Can you kind of picture this story? Hannah praying. This is a public feast. Other people around. Praying so passionately, pouring out her soul so much that a man, a priest, thinks that she is drunk. So what does this mean for us? It means that if we're carrying the shame, this guilt, maybe something that's happened to us, and we feel like we're just stuck with it, that God doesn't hear us, that God's not setting me free, that God's not saving me, just look at Hannah. She carried this for so long, and then she said, I'm just going to pour everything out. And as we go down to verse 17 and 18, it says, so the woman went her way and ate and was no longer sad. Now think here for a second. Her prayer has not been answered yet. God has not given her a son yet. God has not taken away your shame yet. God has not taken away your guilt. God has not granted you a new job, or in this case, a son. But it says she is no longer sad because it's the peace that is from God that she's brought to him, brought to his presence, that she is able to be joyful. And I think this is just a great picture of what it looks like to have something that we're holding on to, but understand that we don't have to carry it. God can do that for us. We just have to give it to him. And I just think this was an amazing story on Hannah and how she's pouring out her soul before the Lord and what that looks like and what that means. So I want to encourage you today. What does your prayer life look like? When's the last time you poured out your soul to God? You may be wondering, does God hear me? But I think ask yourself a different question. Have I truly surrendered this thing and brought it to God? Even if he doesn't answer, I know that he is the God of peace.